What is going on, guys? Simmer Wolves and Reflections here, back with another Life is Strange video. I guess you guys know, previously I did a few Life is Strange videos where I ranked all the games, where I ranked all the chapters, and I did a top 10 list on my favorite characters. Well, now we are going to talk about my overall best moments from Life is Strange. Taking every chapter and talk about which of the general moments that stuck out to me the most. Again, this was not an easy list to put together, guys, because again, I obviously adore this franchise. It's probably in my top 3 best franchises behind Kingdom Hearts and Ratchet and Clank. Also, let me know, guys, what I'm going to do a favorite Kingdom franchise somewhere down the road, but yeah, my top 10 favorite Life is Strange moments. Right, and go through a lot of the moments, which are the ones that I really thought about as standout and emotional and touching. Again, I definitely debate on a lot of different moments, honestly, and there are a lot of ones that honestly pay me at the list. I think I also did this list originally, either when I first played all the games or at the True Colors. I don't exactly remember when I did this list, so I think it's probably the second or third time I've done this list previously, but so you can see it's more of like an updated list. So, in all, I hope you'll enjoy. Again, this is just my personal opinion on my personal favorite moments from Life is Strange, but I would generally love to know what are your favorite moments from this franchise down below in the comments. But of course, as always, before we get to the actual top 10, let's discuss the honorable mentions, the ones that did not make the list, but ones I still think are fantastic. And the honorable mentions are the Esteban scenes after his death, Life is Strange 2. Basically, of course, the scenes where John talks to Esteban is kind of like a ghostly figure. The first rewind scene from the original game. Basically, the scene where basically like this gets Sean then matches rewinds. The whole Vortex party sequence in general from the original game as well. The scene where the ending of Double Exposure episode 2, basically Max killed Safi. And then we get to the Williams scenes for the storm, which is I think I remember actually, which is more I think I remember actually making my actual list. And spoilers, is actually only before the storm moment I eventually made this list eventually. Then we have like every just in general Sean and Daniel bonding moment, which is not any moment in particular, but just that moment we actually don't fight or scream, where you actually can see this characters actually bond and Daniel not being a prick. and then the last one mentions also True Colors, where basically at the moment where basically you try to cheer Steph or Ryan at the whole game situation. The scene where basically it's Ryan or Steph ends up running with Diane to try to get something out of her, and again episode 3. And then we got the Alex performance sequence in episode 4, basically just performed Blitzer in the Sun, which I thought I heard that time before, but I realized I heard it karaoke a few times. And just the opening scene with Alex, Gabriel, and Echo True Colors. I definitely debate between that moment and my number 10 choice, but all these moments are still fantastic. So, all that said, let's get to the actual top 10. We're coming in at number 10. The 10 best moment in the entire Life is Strange franchise is actually Gabe's death from True Colors. Now, I guess, so I did put Gabe pretty high in my best characters. I think he was like number 5 on the list because they do a great job making Gabe feel like a pretty likable character. And it's one of those moments where basically you like know the moment's going to happen because that's basically the catalyst of the entire game, honestly. And they literally said that after that's literally when they revealed in the trailer, was like he dies and you're trying to figure out what happens to his death. What's death or what ended up causing it or everything what goes on and everything. Just, typical Life is Strange. Typical Life is Strange fare. Typical Life is Strange fare. But that doesn't make the scene any less heart-wrenching. I mean, it's definitely weird that he just gets hit by a rock and then just runs off, but it doesn't make it hit any less, honestly, especially explaining how it happens and how you don't expect it when you're trying to rescue Ethan and everything, and everything's fine, and then when we're told that, and apparently they're going to have it explode at that area, and then they start to hold on to it, and then they actually did anyway, and then that happens. And like Alex's reaction in that moment basically says it all. Like, holy shit, again, it seemed we all saw coming because obviously it was revealed, but that doesn't make it hit any less more. Especially how they make Gabriel such a pure, likable character, and the aftermath after everything it makes it even more heart-wrenching. And now at my number 9, we get to a moment from the original game, and that is the Rachel grave scene. It's basically the scene where basically Chloe ends up finding Rachel's dead body and her reaction after finding her dead body. Like, John, it's the reaction itself it's what put this moment in the top 10. It's the reaction that Chloe had. Because the fact that Chloe can be kind of an asshole at times, you really still feel for her during this scene where you find that Rachel actually was dead. She actually died. Especially when you know how Rachel really meant to Chloe. Even despite Wild House full of swarm, that doesn't make the scene hit any less. Like, it's a pretty emotionally devastating scene. Again, it's more based on just the reaction of Chloe, but it's based on how good the voice acting can be at times, and you really just, in seeing what happens, everything, and after this, you really do end up feeling for her as a character. That's pretty much all I can say about it, yeah. But yeah, now coming in A, we have basically the entire JRPG section from True Colors. Basically, the section that basically takes the majority of episode 3. We actually you are actually playing in general RPG. Which I remember I first played, I was like, am I playing an actual RPG? Okay. I think I literally said that when I streamed this game, but man, I did not expect this. Like, what? It's based on a thing we do, basically try to cheer up Ethan because he's still like grieving over Gabe's death and everything. And they do a good job making everyone feel like so lively, and seeing this town actually do a great job of doing this just to cheer him up, like, it makes that scene really hit a lot more, especially how the scene ends and everything. Like, you really do feel for Ethan in the scene, but the section itself is also pretty fun. You get the fun character moments, you get a little fun floating moments with Steph and other characters throughout the game, so I think it actually somehow works. I mean, I was not expecting it, but here we are. Now we get to number 7. A moment I used to have actually much higher, but it's definitely a scene. It's definitely something where I don't think. But it's something that I don't think as he's not like less, honestly, it's just moments that are much higher, and that is the Chloe wheelchair reveal from episode 3 of Life is Strange 1. I remember when I first played this game, I remember being super shocked by this moment. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were shocked. Honestly, because this was the first time Max used her photo to basically go back into the moment where William ends up dying. And you basically try to do everything you pretty much can to basically try to stop him from leaving so that whole thing won't happen. You basically just try to stop him leaving and everything, because that's kind of what caused everything that happened. And what happened to Chloe and everything, what caused her to basically just be who she ended up being. Which again makes a lot more, which again is pretty heartbreaking if you think about it. And Mac actually succeeds in that, and then William that's being alive was like, yeah, she's like, yes, and then you see Chloe, she's like, no! Yeah. And now, anyways, we get to a lighter moment at number 6, where we got the only moment of double exposure to actually make the top 10, actually. And the thing that I've played that always just stood out to me the most from this game, so I thought there were all many other good moments. I think come to what Mara mentions. I think there are a lot of moments I actually really debate on putting on the mentions in general. But I'm going with the broken chimney scene. It's basically the scene in episode 4 where basically, it's kind of a little optional thing, honestly, but you got this little side thing where basically Moses from the dead world, who's still grieving stuff, he ends up breaking a chimney from his gingerbread house. And then he can go to the living world, and he can Safi to basically give the living one to Moses. Give the chimney to Moses. And it's a very simple thing, but you just can't help feeling so heartfelt whenever that happens, when in that scene in general, we actually give him the chimney and everything, and this combination between Max and Moses. Again, Moses has always been like a big standout character in this game, I think. In this game, honestly, and just really feels so much for him throughout this story and throughout this scene in general. Again, it's a very simple scene, but it works. Sometimes the simplest scenes can be pretty effective. And I will say the same thing for number 5, which is basically the general ending, or basically the whole lantern scene in general. Basically, what they to end up honoring like Gabe and everything, and they do a great job making Gabe basically a likable character. And Life is Strange True Colors, and basically the second episode, basically you just grieving him, and basically everyone just grieving him and still dealing with the loss and everything. I mean, how most episodes too will also figure what happened to his death and what occurred and what caused that explosion to happen, but also obviously everyone's just grieving. Honestly, how like Nara mentions, like how the moments where basically you end up sharing stuff with Ryan, where Ryan ends up having like a mental breakdown, and you end up having play this like foosball minigame and stuff. Like the scene itself where you see with these lanterns just simple in the game, it seems like just not hard to get cheered by. And also, the fact this one is number 5 should definitely tell you the emotions we're about to get to in the top 4. But anyways, now we get to some of the bigger moments of the game, of the franchise. At number 4, we have the Kate suicide scene from Life is Strange 1. which is, yeah, my top four were honestly pretty definitive. If I'm being honest, like, while I debated what moments were going to be on the list, I knew my top four were going to end up being. It just depends on what order they're going to be. But yeah, I knew I had to include the suicide scene with Kate, where basically Kate was feeling so much guilt, with so much emotion, so much hate and everything, and just feeling treated so terribly by a lot of people. She basically tries to kill herself, which is a pretty devastating moment. And what's even more devastating is that basically you can't rewind. Is that you literally cannot rewind. So if you end up saying the wrong thing to Kate, she could actually kill herself. Which makes the scenes even more like tense filled and everything. But if you actually do like end up learning a lot of stuff on Kate for the game, or if you do this and that, or explore this and that in her room, you can actually say the right things that could prevent her death. Like I remember how I was like, please this writing, please write that, I don't want to lose Kate. Like the Welcome and that scene in general is just a pretty emotional moment. And what do you feel about Kate as a character in general? Like you cannot feel that this scene has so much emotion. And now we get to number 3, and we get to the Jefferson reveal scene. Yeah. Number 3 and 2 I definitely debated, honestly, on which one is better, honestly. Like, to be honest, this could be a case where my 3 and 2 could actually flip-flop, but but Jefferson reveal is still one of the most shocking moments in any game I've ever played. I'm pretty sure this moment because Jefferson was always portrayed as like a very nice and gentle person, someone who's always encouraging Max. So when he ends up being the one that killed Chloe, and when you find out what happens to him in what he does in the last episode, it's like, oh, and it really makes you reanalyze a lot of stuff he does in the game and a lot of stuff he says in the game, and you're like, oh, why did you not see that sooner? Yeah, it's definitely one of those iconic aspects of the original game, and number 3. But now we get to number 2 on this list, and that is basically the confronting Jed scene. Basically, the scene where Alex ends up being able to escape from what happened, but surviving getting shot, and then basically confronting Jed about what happened. And this is one of the only instances where basically your choices can't have actual effect, honestly. Like, even until towards the end of the scene, where basically you can choose to forgive or forget or whatever, but your choices really depend on whether everyone believes you or not. Whether everyone believes you or not, depending on how often you talk to the people and how you do this and that could actually have an effect on how this person does this towards you. And I remember my first playthrough, I actually got everyone not believing me, except for Steph, except someone else always going to believe you. But when you believe it or not, it leads to a lot of emotions and a lot of like crazy back and forth and everything. A lot arguing, and what goes on, and then you get behind the scene basically like, stop! And then he basically says like, oh, this is what Jeff was thinking while he was doing. And you can choose to forget again, at least if you're like, oh my god. Like, it's filled with so much emotion. That's for sure, honestly. It's one of the only instances where I think your choices can kind of matter at the end of the game. Which has always been an issue with this franchise, but it's one of the only instances where like, oh yeah, I feel my choices can matter in some areas. And speaking of choices matter or not mattering, we get to my number 1. And it's actually still my number 1 from my original list, and that is the ending of the original game. Yeah, basically the final choice in that game. I think it actually was my number 1 on my original list, and it still is number 1 here. Because when I think that the choices did not matter aspect of the game, or we're like, oh, the choices never really mattered in the end. Whether you think that or not, you cannot lose the emotion. Like whether you do pick the Arcadia Bay ending, where you end up destroying Arcadia Bay, or just, sacrificing Chloe, it's pretty much, yeah, I probably kind of prefer obviously the Chloe one, obviously, and Arcadia one still has a lot of harrowing emotional moments to it, and then a lot of this, oh man. But when we say Chloe ends up hitting a lot more, and honestly, when you definitely feel like you bond so much with Chloe throughout the game. Hell, it could end with actually a kiss, depending on how you treat Chloe throughout the game, which I think was actually a nice touch, actually. And the whole funeral scene was just a kiss. It just, again, it was just a moment that just, no matter what, it's oozing with emotion. I remember, like, actually being, like, emotional right after this moment. And for good reason, because it is a really impactful scene throughout, whether any choice you choose, honestly, and it only the choice that's only ever going to lose its impact. And that's why it is still my #1 favorite moment from Life is Strange. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed these Life is Strange videos. I've been enjoying talking about this series. Also, let me know what other Life is Strange videos you want to do. Is there any other videos you can actually do the franchise? Any other aspects of this franchise you want me to talk about? Let me know down below in the comment section. And you can also check out my previous ones where I rank the games, where I rank the chapters, and I did my favorite characters. So let me know any other Life is Strange videos you guys want me to do down below. I'm always taking suggestions, so definitely let me know. I am One World from Zero Obsessions. I will see you next time. Be sure to follow all our socials down below in the description. And as always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.